No, I have the GIF. I forgot to. It's one I had to resize.
This episode is brought to you by Sig Lucier. The only good thing about coming back is free for.
You should get. I need to get some of that, man.
Come on over, man. Why are you even over there? Come on over here, dude. We'll get plenty of room. Just move a box inside.
I should have come over. I know. Well, because we didn't really do much today. I mean, I went to Booyaka. Are we live this whole time? You jerk.
No, we're talking about Booyaka.
What? Hey, I like to shake my booty as a form of exercise. Hey, good evening,
What's
all
up,
of
everybody?
you. Minty.
Amanda and the Uncanny Omar here for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Reelz Talk. Sorry we had to do it today. We weren't able to see the movie any earlier than Friday night. So we apologize for the change in day and time, but hopefully y'all are still with us and ready to talk about the Batman. Omar and I got to see this movie last night with his brothers and my husband, and it was an experience. And I'm not talking about the movie because we'll get to that. I'm talking about our movie going experience. Yeah. One of the many reasons
Booyaka released in there.
One of the many reasons why you see people never wanting to go to the theaters anymore was on full display for us last night.
Yeah,
should I tell them the story?
Some lady got yelled at. Yeah, here in a minute. Let's go ahead and talk about something really quick, though.
Yes.
We are going to be talking about spoilers, so please keep that in mind if you haven't seen the movie. Maybe don't watch this until you watch the movie. Because I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Yes.
If you've seen the movie, then hey, by all means, join us.
Or if you don't care about spoilers, hey, join us.
Thank you so much, voracious reader. Hope you've been doing okay. Hey guys, what's up, man? What's up, Mr. Awesome?
Hey guys.
Tell us more about them Booyaka. Forget Batman. Let's talk about some
Booyaka. Let's do Booyaka. Let's talk about dancing. Dancing to like simplified choreography where girls just shake their butts and for exercise for hours.
Wait, that's it?
Well, yeah, most of it is we just kind of go, we're just popping our booty in the air for the majority of the time. Yeah.
I'm not Googling Booyaka.
You're not? So yes, we will be talking about spoilers. Side note, someone in the chat had asked, Marvel Guy 1970s had asked before we began when this will actually come out on HBO Max. I know some people are still leery about going to the theaters. And if you had our experience, you may never want to go back to a theater again. And and it does come out on the 46th day. So 45 days, it'll have a theatrical exclusive window. And then on the 46th day, it will premiere on HBO Max. That is April 19th, which is also Sarah Michelle Gellar's birthday. If anyone was curious, why do I know that?
Wow, you don't get that kind of information on anybody else's review of this
Not
movie.
Only can you watch the Batman to celebrate Buffy's birthday. So
Arjun knows what's up.
That's right.
Love the Batman. Torsten.
Yes.
Graham. Griffith. All right. We got a lot to talk about, but not really.
Not really.
Not really. No, not really.
No, we have some stuff to talk about.
Your wife's birthday is on that day, or today's your wife's birthday, brother?
Yeah, it's today or it's April 19th. Either way, happy birthday to your wife, whether it is early
April 19th
or
is
on
my
time.
Birthday. It's everybody's birthday. I heard it's also Martin Scorsese's birthday. Yes. So Batman is cinema.
Oh, James, that's a great question.
Whose birthday is it on March 14th? Somebody that's turning 32 years old.
Forever and ever.
Yes, forever and ever.
I don't know. That's a really weird age to pick because I don't think my 32nd year on Earth is that any better or worse than.
Guys don't really mature until their 30s. I don't want to pick 27 because that's just too wild. You know, I want to, I love my kids. So 32 is a good age.
Yeah.
My 30s were awesome. 40s are great.
My 30s are pretty good too. We're going to end it on a high note.
Yeah,
4 more years, and then
I'll be done with those 30s, man. All right, let's go ahead.
I'm feeling it. Wait, can I tell? They want to know what happened. We have to tell them. No, we have to tell them what happened. Okay, so let's tell you before we begin. And this hopefully has not marred mine or Omar's opinion of the movie, because it had nothing to do with the movie, but it could have inhibited our viewing of the movie. So we went to go see the Batman at our local theater. It's a small theater. It's not like a movie chain like an AMC or a Regal, etc. Because we want to support our local theaters because that's very important. Because it's cheaper, it supports our local community, etc., etc.
It's cheap.
So we bought tickets to go, and it's cheaper. Yeah, you mean $8 to go see the movie versus like $12 to $20 a ticket. You want to go. So
it's
we
not
go to
3D
see the
or
movie.
reclining seats, and you're compact in this theater.
You're really, yeah, it's like at your original theaters that you would expect. So we go to see the movie, and it is very busy. We pretty much had a very packed theater. And right as the movie itself, we've already gotten past the trailers. The movie starts, and there's a group of teenagers who come in,
With
and they are loud
attitudes.
already as they come in. They're trying to find
Not
seats
Power Rangers.
together, making noise as the movie's beginning, making noise trying to find seats together, and they find some, and they happen to be behind our seats. So they climb up behind our seats. And for the first 2 hours of the Batman, they probably got up no less than, I would say, 10 to 12 times at interval spurts. There was like, it was a two couples, I believe, and the girls would get up and go, and they'd climb over the people at the very end of our row. Then they'd climb back. They kept kicking or pushing on the back of my seat, my husband's seat, Omar's seat, consistently, and they talked a lot.
Yeah, it's different than like Amanda and I talking because we're funny.
Yes. And we, yeah, and even then,
okay. Here's the difference. So when we do talk and we try to keep it down, we at least are talking about like, the movie.
The movie.
They
weren't talking about it.
They're just talking on their phone, talking about other things. And I just got pissed off, so I said, "Hey, can you all keep it down?" And that was it. And they said sorry. And I said, "We're trying to watch a movie." I may have thrown in a GD or.
I think you said GD. Yeah, we tried the GD movie. Well,
all right.
Oh, that did not work.
All-Star Batman. I had to throw a GD.
Okay, so here's the first spoiler. So we get to the scene where where Batman or Bruce Wayne is sitting at the bedside of Alfred, and they're having that intimate talk, and he's confronting Alfred about not telling about Falcone and his father's relationship. Hey, spoilers, guys. And these kids were still talking. So I turned around and got my mom voice on, and I said,
"No. It was your Karen voice.
It was my Karen voice, but warranted.
Oh man,
there was very few times, and I was like, "Can you please stop talking? Because you've been doing this." And the kid behind me was like, "We're not talking." I was like, "Yes, you have. You've been talking for the entire movie. You keep getting up. You're distracting everyone in the theater. Exactly you need to stop."
This is the same tone, except louder.
It was the same tone. I was so upset. And I didn't swear or anything. My husband was very proud of me about that. So then after that, I think all three of them end up getting up and leaving. They were quiet the rest of the time. And then about towards the end of the movie, for the last like hour, they all got up and left except for one kid. And he didn't say a damn word, excuse my language, for the rest of the film. So I got to just watch the last half of the Batman, in nice, complete silence, which I wish I'd done it sooner. And then after the film was over, some kids said, "Thank you so much for saying something to them," which I felt validated in that, because I was like, I was pissed.
You don't see this in anybody else's review, okay?
No, not
whose review of this movie you've seen. You didn't come here to see. When it comes to Batman, Karen behavior shall be tolerated.
Well, I mean, and even like, because it's a serious movie. This isn't like Avengers Endgame. Yeah, because it's like, this is not like Avengers Endgame where people are cheering at every scene, right? We were respectful for the most part. You know, when we had that surprise cameo appearance.
Laughed at the right time.
Yeah.
For the entire theater. There's a difference in doing that and then having a conversation outside of the movie, like you're sitting at home watching a flick and other people paid for it.
Yes.
Like these people had their lights, like their flashlight, their phone out with the flashlight. It was just getting annoying.
Yes, the kids were on, like, don't take your girlfriends on a date to see this movie. You should have went to go see The Dog featuring Channing Tatum. That's the movie you should have taken them to. You could have made out and talked all you want.
Whoa.
No one's watching that film.
Nobody making out at that age? All right, let's get to the Batman.
Okay.
I'm vengeance. I'm going to go beer up. Amanda, take it from here.
All right.
Recap.
So we have the Batman. We are going to be talking about spoilers, obviously. So the Batman is directed by Matt Reeves, who we all are familiar with from his Planet of the Apes, the rebooted movies with Andy Serkis, who also makes an appearance in this film as Alfred Pennyworth. We also have Robert Pattinson as the Batman and also as Bruce Wayne. And he's looking super emo and surly as Bruce Wayne. Just what you expect a young Bruce Wayne who hasn't fully come into his own yet to be. We also have Zoe Kravitz playing Selena Kyle or Catwoman. And do I have a gift for her? And I want to wait for the other gift that I have for John Turturro. But we also have Jeffrey Wright playing Detective Jim Gordon. But he's not yet a commissioner yet because this is Matt Reeves said he took his inspiration from Year One, Long Halloween, and Ego, which you could definitely see the Long Halloween Year One stuff. I never read Ego, so
there's a little bit of Venom in there. There's a little bit of Legends of the Dark Knight, Batman
Okay.
Shaman. Yeah, there was a line like "You're a good cop," right out of Batman
Gotcha.
Year One, which I thought. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and keep going. So, spoiler.
Okay. Yes, so it also stars Colin Farrell as the Penguin, in which I believe is extremely unrecognizable. And also, like I said, John Turturro is Carmine Falcone. So there you go, that guy.
Why did you use a freaking trick? God, really, Amanda?
I could never not have a chance to do it. I had a chance to do the Transformers meme. And I had to use that theme. Okay, so just like, for example, the Long Halloween, it starts on Halloween night when the Gotham City mayor is murdered by a serial killer calling himself the Riddler. And here's do I have a good picture of that Riddler for you?
But also Paul Dano with
right here. Also who is Paul Dano, which honestly he doesn't need a mask because he is honestly creepy enough as it is without it.
Oh, hey, easy.
Well, I mean, like, he just has that, he can play like, creepy serial killer stalker type dude. He just has that look. Anyway, so at this point, Bruce Wayne has been operating as the Batman for about 2 years. And so he is working with Jim Gordon, who's just a detective at the time. And of course, he's allowed onto the crime scene, even though he does get pushback from other cops. And of course, the current commissioner himself, however, which is Pete Savage, but doesn't matter because Jim Gordon wants him there. And in fact, the reason being is because there is a letter for the Batman. And so we go through a series of riddles that the Riddler has using a cipher, which is very reminiscent of the Zodiac Killer. Hey, nope, that's not it. There it is. I got a Zodiac Killer gift for that too.
Where did that come from?
Well, because Matt Reeves said he took inspiration from the Zodiac Killer. So
I saw a little bit of David Finch films in here too.
Yeah, well, isn't David Fincher? Didn't he do Zodiac Killer? Zodiac movie?
Zodiac.
I think he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, this is one they didn't take from Batman Year 2, the best Batman story. Am I right? Amen, brother. Amen.
I thought that's not canon anymore.
You go to hell. Oops. Correct. I mean, yeah, I guess. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So this sets off a series of other kidnapping/murders by the Riddler of people, not criminals per se, but people we're supposed to respect and trust, actually working for Gotham. After the mayor is killed, then it is the commissioner, Pete Savage. He is then later killed as well with another message for Batman. And all of this is surrounding the ideas of there are lies going on surrounding the Marconi arrest. Maroni, sorry. Maroni, I was combining Falcone and
Maroni has been around since the 40s. Like that family has been around since like Detective Comics 60 something, and has been a part of the origin of Batman, the origin of Two-Face. Like this, so it was a really cool, almost like an Easter egg at first, but then they kept bringing it up, so not really an Easter egg, even though we didn't see that family. But it was Maroni is the one, I don't know if you remember or not, the one that threw acid Harvey Dent's face.
Yes.
So that's the Maronis, right?
Yeah. So basically all this is surrounding whatever happened with the Maronis case. And the idea is he wants Batman to bring the rat, basically the person that the police and the DA used to take down Maroni, and bring him into the light. That's pretty much the idea behind the Riddler's whole scheme. And so, of course, that means that the Batman, or Bruce Wayne, is trying to figure out who the rat is. In the meantime, while this is happening, other people close to this case who we come to find out are also corrupt. Either they took money from someone dirty, they did whatever the case may be, they end up getting killed as well. So the next person is the DA, also played by Peter Skarsgård. and he's also ends
Who
up
does a
getting
really
killed.
good job playing a creepy guy in all his movie roles,
He
and
is really
a
good
little
at
creepy in
playing.
this in his own way.
He was, yeah. I think I have that. There you go. Here, there he is. There
Yeah,
is
that's good.
Batman and Coulson. He has the bomb around his neck, and pretty much you have the Batman trying to figure out this riddle before his head explodes. But of course, that doesn't happen,
Oh,
right?
really quick, Amanda, is it pronounced Falcone or Falcone? Always wonder since Batman Begins. And you know what? This movie doesn't help because different characters called him something else. It's either Falcone or Falcone
I
in the
thought it was
movie.
Falcone. Isn't
And
it
I always thought
Falcone?
it was Falcone.
Because like E is
I've
silent,
also have
right?
been wrong. I've also have been wrong a lot.
Yeah.
So.
I just assumed the E was silent, but it's a good question. I think we need like a DC expert to answer that question for us. And I don't know if it was the people who made the film, but someone knows what the actual
DC expert? What the hell does that mean? Anyway, it's Falcone.
It's Falcone. Okay. So
it's Italian.
While
so Falcone.
Falcone. Okay. So Falcone. Well, Maroni. Okay. We can go with that.
But that actually has an I, not an E.
It does exactly. I have. If anyone knows Italian and knows how an E
this is not helping Tatsy logic.
Tax logic, that makes no sense. Okay.
But I'm not kidding. In the movie, that's one thing I noticed. Oh, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Falcone. Oops. And then someone else in the same movie called him Falcone. So I thought, I guess.
See, I kept hearing Falcone, so maybe I just, because that's what my mind wants it to be. So anyway, so during his detective work, which is what we mostly see with some action scenes throughout, he also meets Selena Kyle, who's working at the Iceberg Club, which is where Falcone or Falcone, now I don't know what to call him.
You call him
Carmine, who is our big mob boss, right? Carmine owns the Iceberg Club. He has this pretty much second command, which is the Penguin, right? And that is played by Colin Farrell. Very unrecognizable makeup work there and pretty decent accent. I mean, I remember him from his payphone days or phone booth, the movie Phone Booth. And he had to have an American accent and it was terrible. So he's come a long way.
It was
so terrible. Good job for him. It was terrible.
Yeah. All these American accent movies.
I know, but he did so too.
How did you not bring up Bullseye? Remember Bullseye?
Oh, I forgot. Well, because I just remember going Bullseye. Like that. I don't remember him talking much in that film, but in Phone Booth he talked a lot, and he had a terrible American accent. So he meets Selena Kyle, and the way she's connected to this case is twofold. She has a friend who is seen later when the Riddler drops pictures of the mayor with his friend or with her friends. It's obvious that he's been cheating on his wife, who also has a young son.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but then she's kidnapped by, we're assuming Falcone's or Carmine. I'm just going to call him Carmine. Carmine's men.
Or is it Carmine?
Or not Carmine. That makes no sense. And so she decides to work with Batman. And she has her own set of skills, but it's also we also find out later in the film that there's a second reason for this is that she's actually Carmine Falcone's daughter, illegitimately by a woman who also worked at the club. And of course, he never wanted to recognize her as his daughter, but he did kill her mother, strangled her. We find that out later in the film. So Selena Kyle has a number of reasons, and then I think she just finds the Batman a very compelling and attractive character.
I mean,
who does it? So the two of them are working together to solve this case along with Detective Jim Gordon.
We're going to get there, Shonda Sook.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to try to cut to the chase because it's a long movie and I could go through all of the detective work, but I honestly don't have time for that.
Go ahead and say something. Not a lot happened in this movie. I'm serious. No. Not a lot happened. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's go ahead. I'm 3 beers in, Amanda.
Yes. So as they go through the detective work, they start to find out beyond with the Riddler's riddles and of course their own work, they start to put the pieces together that a lot of these people are under the payroll of Carmine Falcone. And then it's later realized that not only were these people who've all died part of the payroll, but Thomas Wayne, who was running for mayor when him and his wife were killed, which then led Bruce on the path that he is on now as the vigilante known as the Batman, which no one knows.
No, he never calls himself Batman. He calls himself Vengeance.
He does say Vengeance. I thought everyone else calls him the Batman, though.
Everyone else calls him Batman except for him.
It's where he has poor marketing. He doesn't know how to market himself, but everyone else.
He needed a good PR person.
I got
someone for him. All right, I got someone.
Yes. So come to find out that his father and his mothers, families, one of the oldest, some of the oldest families, the Arkhams and the Waynes, some of the oldest families of Gotham have some really, checkered past. And his mother was in and out of mental health institutions. And basically, a reporter had found out. Thomas Wayne went to Carmine Falcone and asked him to help cover it up. And of course, for Carmine, that means by any means necessary, which means to kill the man. And of course, then later, Thomas Wayne and his wife are then murdered brutally as well. So all roads then
faced false. Calls himself Batman at the end, right before.
That is, he did.
This could be the end of Batman.
That's right. He did say that.
Good call, Dan.
Good job, Dan V.
900.
So when Bruce realized this, he starts to have a reckoning because, of course, the Riddler does go after Bruce Wayne for the sins of his father, right? Because obviously,
there's that was like the whole thing was the sins of the father.
Sins of his father, right? So he believes that Bruce should pay for what his father's done for the city, because we find out later the Riddler actually grew up in the orphanage that the Waynes had created, and it was a very terrible experience. And honestly, who wouldn't, want retribution for how he was treated in that orphanage? And I mean, at least someone should go to jail. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, someone could go to jail.
He didn't have to go and kill all those people,
And so Bruce is trying to come to reckon with his past. He has a nice talk with Alfred, which I honestly missed a lot of that because I was yelling at some kids, but I'm sure it was a really good talk.
I will say, well, never mind. Go ahead. Keep going.
Go ahead. So after that, they realize, at first they think that the penguin is the actual rat because they're trying to hold the whole rata alata riddle, and they're trying to figure out if it's a pigeon with wings, but a penguin. And they realize, oh wait, Falcons also have wings.
So do penguins.
So they realize that Carmine Falcone was the actual rat. Why? Makes all sense, because he wanted Maroni out of the way so that he could have control over Gotham's police, Gotham's everything. So, of course, that Falcone would do whatever it takes and rat on his close associate in order to get to that point. And so, of course, Selina finds out and she wants to kill him. She tells Bruce or the Batman why she wants to kill Falcone. He doesn't want her to. So now it's a whole matter of who's going to get there first. And she gets there first, but of course he ends up showing up and he ends up stopping her. And it all, there's a lot of play with guns and things. We all know that Batman doesn't like guns because she wants to kill him using a gun and he tells her not to. But he does end up taking Carmine out into the light, thereby exposing the Riddler. And they end up finding him just hanging out at a cafe, even though they go to his apartment.
Love that scene, by the way.
When he's in the
cafe. I like villains that are like, I got this. I got one up on everybody.
Yep.
But we'll get there here in a little bit.
Yeah. So then, of course, Batman wants to go visit him in the prison because he was, of course, there's yet another riddle in the apartment as all of the police are combing the apartment for evidence. There's a riddle that wants the Batman to come see him, and he thinks they're kindred spirits. At first, Batman thinks that he knows he's Bruce Wayne, but it turns out he doesn't really know he's Bruce Wayne. He just thinks they're kindred spirits. They both want the same thing, but maybe they don't. And then he gets upset because he realizes the Batman really doesn't want to vengeance the way he wants it. And then he says, you can't stop what's about to happen. So, of course, he goes back to the apartment, is able to find the code with Martinez, the police officer that at first was leery of him, but that later I think ends up accepting the Batman and ends up helping him with his last clue, which is the carpet remover, to remove the carpet, find the clue. He unlocks the passcode, and you see his last stream, and he has 500 plus followers. All these people talking about what gauge do you want, like as far as gun barrel and best things to use for detonators, et cetera, going on. And then he realizes he has bombs placed all throughout the edges of the city. Mm-hmm. And when the bombs explode, we're going to have a massive flood. And of course they explode because he can't stop the bombs. It's too late for that. So now we have this massive flood. It's also the night of the election of the new mayor, who she does want change. And you think this is the kind of person who's going to bring change. They have to seek shelter in what I assume is the Madison Square Garden of Gotham. And they seek shelter in there, but unbeknownst to everyone, his followers, the Riddler's followers, are all up above in the rafters with all of their ammunition and their guns, and they're going to shoot everyone, or as many people as they can, because they're not just looking for one person, they have tons of rounds. So of course it's a race against the clock. The police are there trying to stop it. Batman comes and kicks the crap out of everyone. Selina shows up. She also helps him kill the, not kill, but take down all of these gunmen. And so they're able to stop it. He's able to save these people. And of course, this is not what the Riddler really wanted. He's upset. Then we get a nice little cameo from who Matt Reeves has already confirmed, which I think it was a little early for him to confirm when the movie just came out. But
I have so many thoughts about all of that, but you're talking about Prisoners, Debt Collector.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah,
that was a solid flick. If you've not seen it, solid flick.
He just plays that kind of person. It just works. Sorry.
Agreed.
Yeah. So then you have the Riddler's upset because he's realized that his plan has ultimately failed, and he gets a word from someone who wants to help him or wants to see what he wants to see in the city. And you know that the man's disfigured. Obviously, it is the Joker, and we now know it is played by Barry Keoghan. I may have mispronounced his last name, but he played Druig in the Eternals. So this gentleman right here, do I have him? Yes, that guy. Also, interesting looking dude.
Interesting looking dude is very politically correct.
That's the new shtick for the villains, and I'm here for it. So anyway, so at the end of the day, the Batman decides he needs to focus on helping people. It's not just about vengeance anymore. Of course, Selina Kyle can't stay because this just isn't her scene. So the two depart. He going to Gotham and her leaving Gotham to go to Bloodhaven. Nice little name drop there.
Nice
little Easter egg. And he looks back at her one last time on his bike mirror and then fade to black. And that is with Nirvana, playing. So there we go. That's the Batman.
All right, let's talk about this movie, break it down. Talk about what we like, what we didn't like. Okay. How do I describe this movie? I went in with no expectations. It's another Batman film. Sure, it's going to be good because Batman's usually good. Batman has been good. Even the crappy Batman movies fooled me for a little bit, and they were fine. What I didn't know is who directed it. Now, something about me, I love Matt Reeves. I think Planet of the Apes, the original, not the original, I'm sorry. The
original reboot, yeah.
Yes, is one of the I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's one of the finest masterpieces of our time.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That movie is perfection to me.
Even with James Franco in it, it's still a great movie.
Yeah. I'm serious. That movie has no flaws. It is one of the most perfect movies I've seen. It's amazing. I love it. I've showed it to my kids, and I'm like, okay, you got to break down this scene. Look at that. Look at the motif of the window. It's very important because it comes into play later. Now, I didn't know he directed this. So I was very surprised when we were all talking. We came out of the theater, and I asked Amanda, who directed this? And she was like, Matt Reeves. And I'm like, okay, what's he done? Because I can't remember. And she was like, oh, Planet of the Apes. And I was like, oh, what? So here's the thing. Like when I came out of the movie, I didn't know how I felt. I liked a lot of it. I'm not gonna lie. I love the visual. Like I think visually, this is the most Batman I've seen in a Batman movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why this is called the Batman. Like him in the suit works. The actor Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson, yes.
I thought he did an amazing job of playing Batman, a character that had very little to say. Right? Very stereotypical. You could have gone one way. I like the way he handled his Batman voice because you could have gone the swear to me, or you could
like Christian Bale.
I actually like the Ben Affleck, like the robotic, like changing in his voice. I thought that was a cool way of handling it, but this was like it was his own voice. And oh my God, I loved his Bruce Wayne for what little screen time his Bruce Wayne got.
Very little, yeah.
It was so good because it was it was like this broken child that had lost everything, trained to be a soldier by the father figure that he had, which was Alfred, and I'll get to that in a little bit, and never grew out of it. Like, yeah, people make fun of it and like, oh, he's so emo. I don't care. This is a broken child that grew into a man and missed that childhood. Like, I thought it was perfect. The way that he handled himself, even the haircut. I was like, that is a child's haircut, like the way he was wearing it.
Yeah.
I love the way that he spoke so little. His eyes, he did an amazing job with just there. That funeral scene is one of the most perfect scenes I thought in this movie, where he's just looking around, like acting with his eyes, right? Which is so good because he's trying to figure things out. He's not saying a lot.
He doesn't say a lot because he hasn't been in society really at all. But these people, he's like an elusive figure, so it made perfect sense for him.
Oh, so good. Now, I love Gotham. I thought Gotham. This is the closest I've ever seen Gotham to be Gotham. Like I was the Nolan trilogy. I was in Chicago when they were filming The Dark Knight, and we went to go and film a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, it's the Batmobile. Oh my God, it's the Joker with the truck. It was really cool to see it filmed. So I knew it was like Chicago, or I knew what to look for, landmarks. In this, I was like, that could be New York, or that could be Chicago. And then by the end, I'm like, that's Gotham. Like, it's dirty, it's gritty, it's not perfect, it's dark. Oh, it was so good. It didn't look like any of the like, Tim Burton, whenever Tim Burton makes a film, it's like, oh, that's a Tim Burton building. That's a Tim Burton background. This, like, it just felt like Gotham, like a natural Gotham city. I like that. I like that about it. Batmobile, best Batmobile on screen. I'm serious. It was amazing. You're on mute, sweetie. Or I can't hear you.
You're right, I'm on mute. No, I love the Batmobile because it wasn't some crazy, insane, creation. It was what you would expect a boy 2 years in would have made, like out of a regular vehicle.
Here's another thing that when they go back and they talk about the history of the Waynes, they talk about the mental illness of his mother. And I'm like, okay, that ties heavily into why someone like this would take on the persona of a bat to drive fear into his enemies, right? Why he's broken. I thought that was really cool. Very well done. Like I said, a lot of the things in the movie worked with me. I like the slow downness of the film. And I don't mean this film was slow. I'm sorry, the movie or the pacing. I mean the actual film was slow. It's like they slowed it down a little bit to give it more of an eerie, noirish feel to it. And like, you hear footsteps and you hear the soundtrack, which another thing I enjoyed was the soundtrack. Boom, boom. Like, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Because right now in Batman, this is his year 2. Best Batman story ever. Batman year 2. And he's not a myth, right? A lot of people are like, oh, it's just a guy in a suit. And that's what it feels like. I like that about this movie. It seemed like a dude with a cape running around. You're like, was that a guy in a Batman suit just running around the city? Doesn't feel like he drove fear into his enemies. You see that earlier on with what I like to call the Joker gang. With all these guys that are dressed up as clowns. I think that was really cool. Like, you see him stepping out of the shadows. And even though he was working in the shadows most of the time, my man was kicking ass. And the fight scenes were so clean and crisp. They were so easy to follow. Usually with movies, especially Batman movies, because they're in the dark and the angles that they use, sometimes the fight scenes are choreographed specifically, and they're hard to follow. But in this, it was like, even with the bullets, it reminded me of that Darth Vader scene when it's all dark in Rogue One. You remember that? And he's stepping out with the lightsaber. And what the machine gun scene in the alley or the hallway reminded me of. So that was awesome. And he's like blocking it and beating the crap out of these guys. Those were the things I really enjoyed. Jeffrey Wright, I thought, great actor. Zoe, what was her? Zoe Kravitz. Oh my God, probably the most gorgeous woman to have ever played the role of Catwoman, in my opinion.
I thought, yes.
And she was good in that role. Now, Amanda, what did you like about this?
Wait. Oh, you? Okay,
I'm not talking about the things I didn't like yet.
Okay. So for me, I really loved the feel of the film as a noir. I think that was perfect. It was a different direction than what we've seen Batman before. It wasn't just an action flick. We didn't see him doing a lot of his training and things like that. It was his detective work. It was solving the riddles, which I think using the Riddler as the villain for this particular type of film worked perfectly because he had to do a lot of the detective work.
Is this real? Really? Is it really?
Well,
the same
yeah, and it's
cinematographer as Rogue One?
yes, and
That's
funny enough,
hilarious.
also the same composer, same composer, I believe. Yeah, same composer, Michael Giacchino. He also did most of like the Spider-Man movies. He also did No Way Home. He did
the composer did?
Yes.
Because let me tell you, the composer had the hardest job. I
Yeah.
know everybody's like, oh, Robert Pattinson. No, there is a theme to Batman, and Batman's theme is very iconic, whether it's Danny Elfman or Hans Zimmer.
Yes.
It's a good theme, and how do you follow that up? And I thought he did a terrific job.
And he also did the new Star Trek films as well. So
I don't remember those, but this stuck with me.
This stuck with you, yeah. So I loved the feel of the film, and I mean some of the scenes we'll talk about, where maybe, things could have been improved perhaps, but I enjoyed the overall tone of the film. I thought Robert Pattinson was an awesome Batman for what the Batman is that we needed for this film. He wasn't, obviously he's not old, Batman that's jaded like Ben Affleck. He's definitely not Christian Bale's Batman or Michael Keaton's Batman. He's definitely his own Batman, this young Batman that's coming into his own and trying to figure out where he fits in this world. So that's why I liked the fact that there was a lot of that inner dialogue, the inner monologue that we've gotten to see, the narration, because that reminds me of a comic, right? That's what I would expect from a comic. So it was very reminiscent of that. I enjoyed it. For me, the cinematography, the shots, I have a couple of them. Like, for instance, they showed it in the trailer, but this scene alone, and you talked about the reverse. I can't find the actual scene, but where after his car chase with Penguin, and Penguin is, turned over, stuck, that image as he's coming up is fantastic. And there's other ones that I enjoyed too, just like the silhouettes of him and Catwoman. Like this scene right here, beautiful. I feel like it could come straight out of a comic, out of a comic strip. It would be a panel, for example. I just feel like it was beautiful. And the flare scene when he's leading all those people to safety, again, beautiful imagery, beautifully shot. And I honestly really enjoyed Zoe Kravitz as the Catwoman. I thought her turn, she was very sexy. I thought her and Robert Pattinson had great chemistry on screen as their counterparts. I thought it was that chemistry was fantastic. The supporting actors all did a fine job because they're, those actors have been around for a long time. And I also like the idea of using the Riddler, like I said, and I thought Paul Dano was a good choice for the Riddler as well. Mm-hmm. If you had to choose an actor to play him, it's definitely not a Jim Carrey, and I am appreciative of that. Though Jim Carrey they were going for a certain aesthetic, and that was what they went with. But yeah, overall, those are the things that I really enjoyed about the film.
Okay. All right. Now, of course, like every review, we have to talk about things that we did not enjoy. There were quite a number for me. Number one, the plot. I felt like the movie was long. It was 3 hours long. And to summarize the plot, it was like, okay, the Riddler has a master plan to bring out the corrupted people in Gotham and then blow up the walls to let the water in. So Batman has to stop him. I think I wanted to like the Riddler. I think he's a good actor, the guy that played him. I like the Seven take on the Riddler. As a matter of fact, as soon as they go into his apartment, I was like, oh my God, this is Seven. And I don't know what it was. It just went. It's really difficult to do a Batman villain. I get it. It's really difficult to do Batman, right?
Yeah.
Because you have such iconic actors. Like, I think everybody's going to be like, Heath Ledger is the most perfect villain. To me, it's always been the guy that played Two-Face. I thought Two-Face, the Aaron Eckhart, I think it was his name.
Aaron Eckhart.
Like, to me, he was the perfect villain. Started off as a guy on the right path.
Yes.
Something happened. Kind of like The Killing Joke, right? Horrible day, became a villain because of that horrible thing that happened.
Yep.
I wanted the Riddler to be smart. I wanted the Riddler to be like, that scene in the diner was amazing when the cops are all coming in. He's got this creepy look on his face. I hate to even compare this, but he looks like like a kid that would shoot up a school. Like that kind of. It's a different villain than Batman's ever faced, right?
Yes.
And I like that. I thought that is a cool, creepy villain. And I wanted him to be smarter than Batman. But in the end, I felt like it was just really strange to find the carpet thing. The cop tell Batman, like, oh, that's one of those carpet things that you use to rip the carpet. And Batman's like, oh my God, there's a carpet underneath my feet. And he rips up the carpet. And there is the plan. And I was like, in my mind, I'm watching this, right? I'm like, okay. And they sit there and explain the plan. I laid 7 bombs in 7 vans. I'm going to destroy the wall. Water's going to come in because everybody's gathering. And honestly, I thought, man, Nolan's Bane was smarter than that. Like the way that Nolan's Bane was written was actually smarter and gave Batman like trouble. And I will say this is the most detective we've seen Batman be.
True.
Batman is like the most like he's looking at things. I love the contacts that he wears so he can get the clues and look at clues later. But I was like, he's not that smart. Like, it pissed me off with the whole wings thing.
Okay.
Like, the rat wings and the female. Batman is smart enough to know that.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Why didn't he think about that?
About the article, how in the Spanish there's male and female articles. I don't know. Maybe he never took Spanish class. But no, so for Paul Dano, I think the biggest issue I had with it was that we only saw the Riddler. So as far as the smart thing, I give it a little bit of a pass because we also are talking about a young man. And we're seeing the beginnings of these characters before they actually come into their own and be the costume characters we see later on, right? Because just like this is year 2 for Batman, which Bruce Wayne's only been Batman for 2 years. Right. This is essentially they're the same age. They were literally saw pictures. They were both young boys. He was in the orphan choir, right? So they were both around the same age.
I did like that twist.
Yes, they're both the same age.
That twist where he was like, "I know Bruce Wayne is Batman, but he didn't."
He did. I really thought he did, and then I was like, "Oh, I see what he's talking about." He's not talking about. Yeah, I could see like in Robert Pattinson's eyes him breathing a sigh of relief.
What was your issue with his Riddler? What was your issue?
The biggest issue wasn't his Riddler. It was that I think it would have worked better if we only ever heard him over the phone. He is such a good character, like himself. Like you said, when he turns, he smiles, and you get that that creepy look on his face, and it's such a good look, but we don't get to see it until pretty much the end of the film, where we get to the climax.
You're 2/3 into the movie when that happens.
And all we see of it.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
nothing wrong with that though. Like, I'm okay with that. But I know what I know what you're getting at. I can see why people push for an R rating. You know, the way that the Riddler's killing people, and the Riddler doesn't necessarily need to be like someone in the comics, right? Like this smart guy with a cane. I didn't need that, but I really wanted, if we're gonna have a true detective Batman, I wanted him. How do I put this? I didn't want to be the one that solved things before Batman. Batman's smart. Batman should be able to solve things and be a step ahead of the game. Now, Riddler could be smarter than him and be really like 3 steps ahead of the game. But it felt like Batman, like it really made me mad when Batman found the carpet thing. The cops it's like, this is stereotypical movie 101. Cop's gonna tell him what that
plot device. Yeah,
but it's almost like a MacGuffin.
It's a MacGuffin. Yeah.
Oh, it's a carpet ripper.
Well, and that's the problem with, and maybe that because they had a lot of storylines going at once, and like we had to have Selena Kyle and bringing her into the fold. Yeah, you had to have her bring into the fold, and then have her whole secondary story as the daughter of Falcone. But then you also had Jim Gordon, and you had all this stuff coming together. It almost felt like they knew that they were getting to the point where this is too long, and they needed there needed to be a quick resolution so he could solve this case and get to the big climax, which is the dam breaking, or not the dam, but the bombs detonating and everything happening from there. So I see that as probably one of the downfalls, is maybe there is so much involved in the plot that it led to that issue that you're talking about.
The entire point of the Riddler is that he is smart, but he isn't that smart. In the comics, he has both the Deuce Batman identity and outsmart. Yeah, right. He has. And in the movie, I like that twist that you think, oh, wait a minute, he knows who Batman is. He doesn't. That really caught me by surprise. Okay, here's the other thing I did not like. It felt like really a waste of an awesome actor in Andy Serkis to have him in like 10 minutes worth of the movie. And I get it, like, you know, and you can argue that, hey, we've had plenty of Michael Caine Batman. Like, we don't need another, here's Alfred and his father figure, right? But this is a different type of Alfred and Bruce Wayne connection. This man
younger
is not
Alfred,
the father figure. He's the man that trained him to be Batman. This isn't a man that sent him off to like go get trained by Ra's al Ghul in his League of Assassins. This is a man that actually trained him to be Batman. So there's this whole chemistry there, and he played such a minimal role in this that I don't know if I'm the only one, but when that scene, when he opened that envelope and it's like to the Batman and it blows up, I was like, did they just kill Alfred? Because it feels like they just killed Alfred. And I don't think like I don't know if I was the only one that thought that, but I was like, I think they just killed Alfred. But there's
of course they didn't. Yeah.
There's that wonderful connection between both of them that I wanted to see more explored. I mentioned Robert's portrayal of Batman and Zoe's portrayal of Catwoman. I don't know how I feel about her Catwoman, like with him. Like, I like the idea of a Catwoman that I like the ending though. I really liked when she said, you know, why don't we just get out of here and go and have some fun? That's my kind of Catwoman, right? Because you have two characters that are so alike,
yet so different.
What's the attraction? You have to have a character that's so different from you that Batman immediately is like crushing. Other than the looks, right? Why would he be crushing on this woman? Other than physical, obviously we all are. My goodness, did you?
Well, she could clearly take care of herself. Yeah, she can clearly take care of herself.
But it's almost like there has to be something thrilling about her. There has to be something unique about her that he sees. And I don't know. Maybe it might work when she comes back later on. I actually liked Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. I thought she was I thought she did a really good job with that type of character.
See, and all I could see when I watched Anne Hathaway was it's Anne Hathaway playing Catwoman. I couldn't get my mind couldn't unsee her as just Catwoman. I don't like, it wasn't that she didn't disappear into the role, but yeah. But for me, I honestly thought their chemistry was on point. There was a few scenes with the two of them that were just steamy. So I personally enjoyed the two of them together.
Like I said,
and I would like to see it explored more because I know they're going to do.
Well, that little nod to the cat in the bat, that was nice. Maybe
I love that
because she was the only other vigilante.
Well, and as given where she works and everything like that, the risk that she's taking, he might be intrigued by all that and how careless she almost feels, like how risky, how much risk taking she actually takes when she shouldn't really be taking that, because she's at the heart of it all. So it is a little intriguing kind of persona, but yeah.
The other big issue with me is I think while this is artsy, there are some scenes that were way too long that really could have been cut down. And I always go back to that last scene with her and Catwoman.
Yeah.
Like, they drive together, like almost Fast and the Furious. Like, driving together down this road. He goes his way, she goes her way. And I'm like, what was the point of that? Why couldn't we have him go back to the mansion going, hey, Alfred, how you feeling? Oh, I'm feeling okay, Master Bruce. Like,
wait, I thought the light was in the sky. That's why I left. Yeah, the bat signal
rode out together. Like, I'm just saying, like, there was
okay. Well, she was
they could have cut that down to him.
She wasn't gonna stay.
I know, but they could have cut that down to just one scene of, you know what?
True. Okay.
Overhead shot of this. That's it. Like, I get the.
But they wanted to exhibit, like, they wanted to show the longing and the,
But there's a lot of that in this movie.
I know.
A lot of that. And listen, I love 2001: A Space Odyssey. I like prolonging things.
LADV.
Shut up,
2 hearts.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, JT. They call it cinematic language. Omar.
Get out of here, Martin Scorsese. Like I said, I love things like 2001: A Space Odyssey. but there needs to be a purpose. Like, they were just riding around in this, like, I guess, graveyard. It was really weird. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I thought some scenes could have been cut. I think this could have been 20 minutes shorter. It could have had a better, and I love longer director's cuts. That's me. I love longer director's cuts. But I think for this one, shorter would have been better.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think it did.
Thank you. Cut that ensign and give me more Alfred. Exactly.
Yes, I think it could have done with some edits. I mean, obviously there were some beautiful scenes that were a little bit long drawn out, but they were beautiful cinematically, and that does make the film. But there were times when I felt myself, okay, can we move this story along? Like, if it's where they were just really stuck on a riddle for too long, or whatever the case may be, get the story moving, because you thought when they capture the Riddler, you're ending the act, and then you realize, oh wait, no, there's like 40 minutes left of this film. So what's gonna happen?
We came out of the theater, and that's exactly what I said. I'm like, I really like the idea he injected the venom for adrenaline, right? But I think it would have been handled better. It was a weird scene because it was towards the end when Catwoman needed help, and I'm like, dude, you just showed you can take your chest off like that. Just throw that at the dude instead of giving whatever. There were some interesting long takes that, like, the first 10 minutes I thought worked. I'm like, okay, I like that eeriness. I like that.
Yeah.
But then the scenes of him just walking really slow, not talking.
Well,
I've always been one for, like, I miss movies like that. I always make fun of the, modern American cinema moviegoer that will not handle movies like that. But in a Batman flick, I don't know if it worked. I don't know. I'm alone. I know it's so weird because my brother and I were talking about this, and I'm like, oh, I wonder how people feel about this. And he was like, yeah, most people love it or like it.
Yeah, they don't. No one really dislikes it, except I have read some critic reviews of people who absolutely hate it on Rotten Tomato, and I'm like, I don't think you.
I read an article where somebody said that this is a woke Batman, and I don't get that at all.
I think it's in reference to the idea behind the Riddler and his social media use, because they have that small sect of people who want to overthrow or whatever the case may be. So you could say they might have made some analogies to events that have happened in real life over the past couple of years, and that's probably what they're saying. But it doesn't have to be just that. It could be any of, like, that's what we've seen social media being used.
I'll tell you what.
So it's not woke or anything. That's just how people use social media now, whether for good or evil.
I meant to text you this.
Yeah.
You remember when you and I went to go see the Joker, and there were all these people talking about, oh man, the Joker's gonna bring out a lot of people and start shooting in cinemas and stuff. Oh my God, they actually had people shooting people in this movie.
I know.
How is that not being talked about?
Yeah, no one's mentioning it anymore. I don't know if we're over the whole movies are influencing people's actions things or not, whatever the case may be, but no, I was, and I thought it was really interesting that the one thing that he really had
we don't need the zoom in shot of the coffee cup with the question mark. We get it. It's the Riddler, right? And it's really pretty. It's a cool shot. And
I still know how to do that with my fingers.
Zoe Kravitz in a graveyard is beautiful. But come on, man. We're talking about the Batman. Like I said, I had issues with it. I thought the plot was... Here's what I think. I think this was a great cast.
Yeah.
I think the plot could have been better. And I'm sorry. I know people love this movie, which is awesome. But to me, this felt like Amazing Spider-Man 1. Yeah. I thought it was a great cast. But the plot felt really like, oh, this is okay. I really think, as say what you will about Christopher Nolan's plot holes, and there are a ton, I thought his Bane was a smarter villain than the Riddler. And there's nothing wrong. Like, Batman doesn't have to face a smart villain like that yet. And, oh, man, let's talk about this Joker.
We haven't seen that much of him.
No. Like, the idea of the Joker, why they're doing it, right? Like, you and I, we're average moviegoers. We understand. Yeah, why are you doing this again? Oh, because Joker was the #1 R-rated movie of all time.
Yes, but that was Joaquin Phoenix version. So we need to cash in on that and bring another Joker, even though this is a different freaking Joker than the Joker that you saw. So he's not
than Jared Leto.
It's not Jared Leto. It's not going to be Joaquin Phoenix. It won't be Heath Ledger, but it's a different version. There are other
Plot holes
Batman
galore, my man.
villains we
Say
could
what
have.
you will. Say what you will about Christopher Nolan's plot holes, though. Like a lot of his villains were. I mean, look at Joker. And Bane. I keep going back to Bane because he had the kind of S&M outfit, and
Yeah.
you know, just I don't know. I wanted to love this movie. I wanted it to be to me, you know, this is the best Batman I've seen on screen. It's a different Batman than the comics, but that's good. I need that. I don't need the Batman to be like the Batman in the comics. I can read the comics anytime I want. I want my Batman to be a little bit different. I thought this was the best portrayal of Batman. And I don't give a crap that people think he's emo, that, you know, they can't separate Twilight from this. I thought
I don't know
he did
how
a
they
phenomenal
can't.
job. Screw that, man. I thought he was phenomenal as
I hope
Batman.
yeah, I agree.
And
I can't wait to see him back.
And I really hope that the next movie, because I hope they do a trilogy. Oh, my wife is picking up all my beer cans. Thank you, baby. That was not done. That was not done. Thank you, baby. I hope the next one has a stronger plot point, a stronger villain. I fear that we're going to go the route of the Joker. And I think that's too soon.
Maybe they won't the second film. Maybe he'll still be a figure in the shadows until the third film and then do something else. I know a lot of people had said the Court of Owls, and I even know like your brother had mentioned how he thought that was in the trailer, but it turns out to be the funeral. I think it was the funeral scene is what he was referring to.
I think there are things we wanted in this movie that we
didn't
get. Here's something we haven't talked about that you brought up slightly. Okay, so Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about that. That's weird because it's
here's my thoughts on Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Holy crap. How is that Colin Farrell? Holy crap.
Again, yes.
He's a good actor. And then part of me is like, holy crap.
He's a good actor.
Why didn't they just hire a big, ugly guy to play the
Penguin? That dude.
He really doesn't do anything.
Where are those people?
No, I'm being serious. Like, there was nothing. And you have to separate yourself from Danny DeVito's fish-eating penguin, right? but what I'm saying is, like, what was the point of casting Colin Farrell as a big, fat, ugly guy if he's just like
to say they did and they could? And I get that makeup because it's the only thing they're going to be nominated for next year, Oscar season, to get that Academy Award for best makeup.
They better get nominated
for the best makeup. Yes, that's what's going to happen.
And then I found out they're doing a TV show with the
Penguin again. So, which is really interesting. And I know that Matt Reeves has said, because you'd asked me if the Batgirl TV or movie on HBO Max, if that's going to be, because the gore, as far as I know, Matt Reeves said it wasn't going to be connected to the rest of the DCU. So I don't know if it will actually be connected to Batgirl or not, if that's going to be his daughter, Barbara or not, but I don't know.
But
you gonna,
I have nothing else. I mean, we talked about.
We talked about everything.
I think about everything, right? I think I talked about the things that I loved. I talked about the things that I did not like. At this moment, I just remind everybody to smash that like button, please, and thank you for joining us so much. We're gonna get to some questions here in a minute. Thank you, seriously.
And news. We always got news to talk about.
Leo's back. Look,
Leo
doesn't give a crap about our rating. He's like 7.9 out of 10.
Yes. And so when we came back for our first show back, not Spider-Man No Way Home, but I think the next one we did, someone had said that the Batman was going to make more money than Spider-Man No Way Home.
How is it doing?
So it made $57 million on Friday, which is a great one-day gross. So right now they're looking at, unless people go crazy at the box office the next 2 days, they're looking at about 110 to 120 million for the whole weekend, which is still a great, especially it's still a great gross for any film, especially right now where there are still people who don't want to go. Yeah. And a lot of people in the chat were mentioning that it was a mistake for Warner Brothers to do the 45-day because people would just wait for HBO Max. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's going to make a difference.
Tow Mater, my favorite character in the Cars movies. This is an honest question. Why do you think it's woke crap? Because I don't get it.
They said,
but I'm also a 43, almost 44-year-old man.
Someone else said it in the chat. I think DVZ All-Star. Someone else mentioned it. Apparently,
I honestly want to know. I don't want to start an argument. I just want to know.
Zoe Kravitz's Selena Kyle made a comment about rich white men need to get what they deserve. I think I remember her saying that too.
That's what's woke. That's one,
and that made it woke. It was just one character. I know that obviously that's not what the Batman is trying to, he
Batman
doesn't.
is a rich white
He
guy.
is a rich white. But yeah,
because they released it Tuesday. Really, thank you for joining us. Seriously, this is a lot of fun. We love doing this stuff.
Yeah, we really
It's
do.
because
So I think that's
Catwoman
why.
said that Bruce Wayne is white privilege.
Yeah,
really?
There you go.
That's what's woke, but that's one character. I don't get it, but whatever. People, not man. Oh, she said white people.
Oh, did she say white people? I thought she said white men. Well, it also could have been that too. Would have also been.
Oh, here we go. He was ashamed of his wealth, hated himself, more white guy hate. Dude, I didn't get that at all. I really thought
I didn't get
he
that.
loved his father, and then he was destroyed when he found out his father could have been part of all this thing.
This criminal activity. I didn't see that he hated himself because he's white. He never said that.
I don't know. But then again,
and the thing, he hated himself is hard. He's a white man. You can't if he was a black Bruce Wayne, he'd hate himself too.
Hate yourself.
Well, no, I was saying if he was a black Bruce Wayne, he might not hate himself, but he would hate what his parents' legacy was. Regardless. It just happens that he's also white.
I will say, as a 40-plus-year-old man, it is a really strange time to be talking about these things when people bring that up, what woke is. I don't get it. That's why I ask a question. I'm being serious. I don't want to start an argument. I was being genuine. No, sweetie, you need to go upstairs. I love you. Okay, te quiero. And there you go. Let me see. Catwoman said he couldn't complain his parents got killed because he was but to that effect, didn't the Riddler, who is also a white guy, say you're not an orphan?
Yeah.
Because I'm an orphan.
He did.
You were a rich, spoiled kid.
He said Bruce Wayne was rich, but everyone feels better saying giving Bruce Wayne everything. But I'm the one who had to sleep with the rats and babies died. But he was a white guy too.
Sorry, this might be the beard talking, but I see terms like not just woke, but everything else, right wing, left wing, thrown around, and it's just why label things? It's just one character. There are people like that in real life, so it makes sense why there would be one character
that would feel that way. Yeah.
And Paul Dano's character was like, "Hey, you're not an orphan." Who the hell is he to tell Bruce Wayne he's not an orphan? Bruce Wayne's parents.
Who's holding the key on who's an actual orphan or not? All
right. We need something meaty with searing dialogue, not something preachy crap about lecturing the themes of heroism, woke, and stupid class politics that bring. Look, honestly, I didn't even get that. I thought more of that was happening in Nolan's film. Remember, in Nolan's trilogy, there was that whole speech about anybody can be Batman, even a cop that shows a kid a good time. No, what? Goddamn it!
God, I don't know. Do you mean to look at
it? Was putting a coat on a kid. Remember that? That was in your face about who could be a hero. I didn't get that in this. I don't think there was enough dialogue in this to be preachy. 100% honest. It's just me though, and I just got out of the theater yesterday. There was not enough dialogue in this movie to be preachy to me.
That's what I was gonna say. There's other movies, well, I'll admit, they are preachy. And I know we could talk about some Marvel movies that are kind of preachy, but I didn't get that from this film.
Oh, absolutely. In this one, I didn't get it. I was just I think I got more out of the Nolan trilogy, anybody can be Batman.
Anyways, but it's I think it'll make a lot of money over the weekend. About 120 million.
Batman,
is my guess.
It's going to,
man. Which is good. I mean, this is the 6th live iteration of Batman because we had Keaton. No, well, I mean, you can't. I mean, Adam West was on TV.
Adam West, 66.
Yes, but that was Paul Dano was doing that, not us.
I'm not an orphan, man. It wasn't preachy. But they just went there for a split second while they were enjoying the film.
Well, that one character did.
Man, were y'all paying attention to what she was saying? I was paying attention to what she was wearing.
You good Lord.
Come on. When you think I'm not the only one, dude.
When you talk about the movie, this is a 6th iteration, right? Because for movie Batman, right? Obviously, there's other ones, but we're talking about
you've had
Keaton.
Kilmer, you've had
Keaton, you had George Clooney. Christian Bale, Batfleck, and now
Batfleck. I'll be honest.
I love him.
I like my man.
We'll get to see him one more time.
Good as Batman.
We'll see him one more time in The Flash. Yeah.
Weren't we all? Amen, man. Rich white people are bad. It's woke. Wow, I can't believe how many rich white people are in these comments. Yo, if you're rich white birds, please hit that super chat button.
Super chat. Yes.
How about, you know what? I'm rich person in general, not just rich.
There we go.
Folks.
So
My
on
rating,
a, huh?
9 out of 10. Man,
yeah, we didn't do
anything
our
else to add
ratings.
before we go to the ratings?
No, I
Nothing?
think we're good.
All right, let's go ahead, baby.
All right,
Amanda, ladies first.
All right, I give this a solid 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, please let us know what you would give this out of 10. Man, this is hard for me. I've only seen it one time, and I didn't dig it as much as I wanted to. Not that it's a bad thing. I'll be honest. I'll probably say I think 6.5 out of 10. It wasn't. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was all right, and I'll watch it again. I thought it was all right. 6.5 out of 10 from the Uncanny Omar, and 8 out of 10 from the amazing Amanda. As she's going through here, let's see.
Given everyone else's, I'm trying to throw everyone else.
I remember my brother and I going, people really liked it. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm missing something, dude.
Yeah, people really did. Even like critics, which usually, let's face it, besides Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker, DC hasn't been getting.
I don't even get that movie. Like, I did not dig that movie. People were like,
true, he didn't have a solo movie, but he wasn't. He was on screen as Batman, like on a movie. So
100% beautiful.
Within the last 20 years, he's played, or 20, 30 years, he's been one of the.
Batman is a 6. I give it a 6.5. Dang it, I should have rounded up and give it a 7.
I know, and I'm the one who loves Marvel. I'm surprised I gave it as high as a score.
Peacemaker was 10 out of 10.
Well, no, I know Peacemaker was something else altogether. That was just a phenomenal.
I don't know.
Show. It's still 6 with me. In fact, we were listening to my handmade Peacemaker playlist on the way to and from the Batman. So
really, you're
oh god, yeah,
we wrote it yourself.
No, I picked each song out and put it on a playlist on Apple Music.
You're like DJ. You're like a DJ. Okay, 9 out of 10.
Yes,
I love all these high scores. You guys really, really liked it. 9 out of 10. Here's one 5.5 out of 10. It was unoriginal and uninspired. Still not low though. I appreciate that. I like that.
Yes.
8 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I have to watch it again. Yeah, I think that's my thing. I'll watch it again.
I'll wait till the 45 days though. I mean, it's okay. This is not Spider-Man No Way Home where I gotta have witnessed that experience of seeing my men all together. That's something that only happens. It makes me hyperventilate.
What movie are you watching? What are you talking about?
Spider-Man No Way Home. That's a movie I've seen several times in theaters because it's one of those where that experience I want to relive.
7 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Just say 6, man. You know Batman's a 6 to you. How dare you? And he was doing the most detective work he's ever done in a movie. There's a lot of high ratings, you guys, man. This is awesome. 6.5. That's not even a passing grade. Yeah, I know. Welcome to my world. I know a passing grade. You know how much butt I had to kiss when I had to get a passing grade? Oh, man, Sister Dolores, your eyes are looking rather well.
Yes, today. Tavon. He is one of my men. 100%.
10 votes for racial equality out of 10. 6.5 out of 10.
So that's why you gave 6 out of 10.
6.5 out of 10. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Omar's rating is 6 out of 10 paranormal. No, guys, I'm being serious. It was a 6.5. I've seen it 4 times.
No, honestly, guys, when we walked out of the theater, him and his brother were pretty much like, we didn't like it. It was yeah.
I'm not saying it was bad.
I'm just hoping the experience for Omar was not, like I said, was not marred by our theater going experience.
I yelled at the kids first, and then she just took it to the next layer.
Well, they needed a mother's voice to tell them what was wrong.
It's about good movies and bad movies. Nothing else should matter. Absolutely. Peacemaker, 10 out of 10. I thought Peacemaker was phenomenal. Peacemaker's on my TV right now. 4.2. It's so
beautiful.
Good.
It's a beautiful show.
10 out of 10. I can't fan it. Good for you, man. If you enjoyed it, more power to you.
Yeah.
Dude. I've seen it twice.
The Batman?
Yourself.
I was talking about Andrew Garfield and all my Spider-Man. Yeah.
All right. 10 out of 10. To find things I don't like, I would have to pull it out of my butt and complain about tiny details. How do you watch movies? I'm trying to picture this. It's perfectly contained Batman story like The Long Halloween. I will say Falcone
Falcone. I'm gonna say Falcone because if
We didn't
Maroney's
talk
with an
about this
I,
yet.
if Maroney's with an I, it doesn't make sense that Falcone would
It's Italian,
with an
so
E.
they
Yeah.
make up their own language. It's like a romanticized Spanish, so I get it. So I think
Okay.
I really do appreciate like the connection to Catwoman to bring him back to when in Rome. I like the little right and left a scar on his face. I like Turturro's take on Falcone, whatever you want to call him. I thought it was unique. It didn't feel like the stereotypical mafia guy, gangster guy in the comics. I like that about it. Omar, but only the nuns, man, to get my grade up, dude. Hey, yo, I did the same thing to the lunch ladies to get extra pizza.
Wait.
I would
Oh
hit
my
on the lunch
gosh.
ladies at school.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
An incredible actor. I know he won't win the Oscar, but I want him to this year.
Hey, never say never. I know that Will Smith won the SAG, but that doesn't mean that it's all over for Andrew Garfield yet. He did win the Hollywood Critics Association's Best Actor award, so there's the
Respect
possibility.
to Omar for being honest. That's all I can be, man. It's honest. Just being honest, man. Man, a serious question.
Yeah.
Andrew or Tom Holland? All my female friends adore Tom. We went to see Uncharted.
And he had his shirt off a lot in that film. Clearly Sony was doing something for a reason. Andrew Garfield is just, pretty awesome, especially after seeing him at Tick Tick Boom. Him singing and dancing.
I like him in the Tammy, what's her name movie better. Tammy.
When he plays the closeted
her
gay
husband, dude. He was a complex character. I'm not
very
saying
complex.
Tick Tick Boom was really good, right? Like his singing, me and musical stuff.
Oh,
like,
he was Jonathan Larson. He embodied
his character in that Tammy. What
Tammy Eyes of Tammy Faye. Oh, he was great in that too. Yeah, he was great in that as well.
Because he was a complex character. I thought that was a really good flick.
And I'm glad that she won the SAG because I really wanted her to win.
Omar's drunk ratings go. No, I'm sober. Omar would have given this a solid 6.5 out of 10. It will be forgotten quickly. Won't stand out in a month. I don't know. I beg to differ. I really think people will be talking about this. Like, people really like it online. I think I'm in the minority. I thought it was just okay. People really like this movie. Omar, what Batman comics would you love to see in a trilogy? Ooh. Well, Batman Year 2 with the Reaper, but they've already done that in Mask of the Phantasm. I'll be honest, man. The best like incarnation of Batman they've ever done and will ever do to me is Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
And that's a freaking G series. Like, people are like, oh, we need an R-rated Batman. No, you don't. The best Batman you're ever going to get outside of comics is in the Batman Animated Series. You can quote me on that.
A lot of people put that up there, yeah. Because I've seen ever since this has come out, there's been a lot of rankings. And because a lot of people are saying this is better than The Dark Knight. Because a lot of people say The Dark Knight's more of the Joker's film, not really Christian Bale's Batman's film. Which, to be fair, Heath Ledger does steal that movie 100%. I don't
get it. I always thought it was about Aaron Eckhart. I get it.
He also does great job. But again,
I'm sorry. I do get it. Heath Ledger passed away before the movie came out, so people have to pay respects. And I understand. Yes. He did a phenomenal job. I'm not downplaying what he did. I just thought Aaron Eckhart was
did a good job too.
This guy's amazing.
Yes, agreed.
So as far as what do I want to see? Honestly, Long Halloween, Dark Victory would be cool. I think that would be a really good trilogy. I'd like to see some Bane in there, but really, this looks like the beginning of something like No Man's Land, where the city of Gotham is just gone to crap because it's gotten flooded. So that's just what I think. Low standard. People liking this movie a lot doesn't mean they have. No, absolutely not. Everybody's entitled to. Did we say low standard, or was there somebody in the chat?
I don't know.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's pretty easy to argue. It's great with objective parts of films like cinematography, the score, and sound mixing. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Making us picture pulling tiny details out of our blush fingers. When people arguing about Falcone again, Falcon.
Well, so I read something that us Americans pronounce it Falcone. Italians say Falcone. And I keep thinking about
I'm Latin American.
Certain towns in
Americans, man.
Towns here in our great state of Kentucky that are French that are pronounced in the most American way they could ever be pronounced. So there's a city called Versailles, which is spelled like Versailles, the palace and the place in France, but we call it Versailles because we're American.
When in Rome and when in Kentucky, okay?
At least we call Paris. Well, no, they call Paris, and we call it Paris. So I guess it's like there must been a lot of French people who settled in Kentucky. I should look that up.
According to Sal, who I've had on my show before, I like Sal. He's a good guy. From Comic Pop, who is from Italian descent, said it's Falcon.
There we go. So let's go with Falcone.
Yo, man, I'm from Latin descent. I don't get to tell you what you should pronounce. Roberto Rodriguez.
I love that it's Falcone because it sounds better for me.
Did Omar just say ayo? Did I say ayo?
You go ayo. I don't know. Did you say that?
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Anyways, yeah.
We're still arguing about the Falcone.
But can we just say it was played by...
Let me tell you Melanie's score. Last night, she's like, hey, you guys are going to go out to eat? I'm like, yeah, we're going to go out to eat. We're going to get with Amanda. We're going to go out to eat. She's like, okay. I said, the movie's 3 hours long. And she said, nope. That's her score. She said, nope.
She didn't see it, yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. I was hoping for Corda Al's cameo.
I think a lot of people were, there were a lot of expectations with yes, it was, oh my God, yeah.
I'm happy you like Tick Tick Boom. I liked it. Yeah. I thought it was good. My Amanda loved it.
Yeah, well, I love Jonathan Larson.
I Rent. You said a month from now. Now you're saying 5 years? Well, if this is the beginning of a trilogy, then absolutely they'll be talking about it, right? If this is the beginning of a Batman that's going to be in the Justice League or a Flashpoint,
Nope, he won't be. I don't think he'll be. I think this is going to be like our Joaquin Phoenix Joker, where it's going to set outside of the universe because it's not going to be what you're thinking.
The universe is so complex, man.
It's not going to be part of whatever the Flash and Aquaman have going on with Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. It's going to be outside of that.
Yeah. All right, Omar, were the Nolan movies better?
That's hard to say because there's only one movie to three.
I've seen the Nolan movies quite a number of times. I thought Batman Begins was a really good origin. That's something we didn't talk about. This movie wasn't an origin.
No, because he's already been Batman. Yeah, we'd have to see him fall into the well with bats and all that stuff.
What? How many times can you do that?
Yeah. It's how Spider-Man was, right? We didn't get a kit. With our latest iteration, we didn't get the origin story because we've seen it twice.
Do that before you get bored. For me right now, no. I think, no. I'm saying yes. I'm sorry. I think the Nolan trilogy was better than this. I think he's a better Batman than Christian Bale. Yeah. But Christian Bale, I like Christian Bale. I thought he was awesome. He's a great Bruce Wayne. Dude, that scene where he takes his shirt off, he just falls to the floor and starts doing push-ups. So badass. He's banging that chick while watching himself flex. Nope, that was American Psycho. Not.
No, close enough. Could you really tell a difference?
How many times have you done that? No, anyway,
but it's hard to judge because we haven't. I would like to go back after we've had our trilogy of Robert Pattinson, then compare the two trilogies.
It's hard to judge
and say which trilogy is better. Because if you're going,
Begins was a stronger movie than this. I would love to have.
Well, it was definitely tighter editing.
Yeah, well, see, there's the thing. I think the story was smarter. Like the twist of Raj, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson, I don't know. I think I'd have to see it again, man. Good question. Kevin Conroy.
Motherfucking goat.
I can't read that. I've had too much to drink to read that. But yes, he is the greatest of all time. He really is the greatest.
I think that's his way of trying not to swear.
Hey-o! Did I say? Melanie's score is 3 hours of my life out of 10.
Yeah, that's.
Remember that?
To be honest, I don't blame her.
You were like 3 hours. Nope, y'all have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she says she'll wait 45 days and go and watch it on HBO Max. Maybe.
The Godfather Part 1 has a tedious first 30 minutes of the wedding. Dude, are we comparing The Godfather to...
Let's not do that, guys.
Come on, Martin Scorsese. I love The Godfather.
I would be intrigued to see what Martin Scorsese thinks about this particular superhero film.
I don't give a shit what Martin Scorsese thinks of this movie, okay? I like his movies, but it doesn't make him a good movie critic. I don't care if they'll just, all he's going to say it's a superhero movie. I'm tired of that argument.
Yeah.
You know what? It's the same. It's a genre. Get used to it. Just like westerns, just like musicals. It's a genre you don't have to watch every one.
Just like action flicks. I mean, that's what I was thinking about, like Uncharted. They like the adventure
You're bringing
genre.
it back to Tom Holland.
Like
and Uncharted,
they're
man.
all the like you have a certain formula you follow. Some follow it really well and make it original, and others like Uncharted just go by the book and steal from other people's tropes and make it unoriginal.
Fired with this comment right here. They'll just rip off Marvel and have Dr.
They
Fate
will.
Amanda. DC does not always have to rip off Marvel, guys. I think what they're doing is really smart. I like the standalone universes. I think it's good. Marvel did something,
It's
that
very
DC
hard to
tried
pull
to
off.
recreate with the
Yeah.
Justice League and failed at it miserably. And they did. Now they're doing their own thing when everything is a standalone pocket universe, and I think that works. The Batman was a masterpiece. I loved every second of the movie. Pattinson is the best live action. Well done.
Yeah.
Dark Knight is a 9 out of 10. I love The Dark Knight. I think The Dark Knight is a great movie. Apparently,
Yeah.
this Batman already dropped Red Hood in acid. Oh my God! Yeah, the Joker. We tweeted. I don't know about that, man. I think it's way too soon for the Joker. Dude, Chinatown. Forget about it, right? Nicholson. He's great in that movie. It's a good movie. Side note, Dune is back on HBO Max on March 10th.
Oh, maybe I'll try to watch it again because the first two
Dune was a good
two
movie.
times I tried to watch it failed miserably at
It
it.
was a good movie. Our U.S. teacher over here used to give us detention for pronouncing Arkansas as Arkansas.
Hey, you know what? I used to live in Arkansas, and we would say Arkansas sometimes just because.
I love how people try to tell me, a Latino, how to pronounce things when you're adding an A and an R to Kansas, and all of a sudden it becomes Arkansas.
God bless anyone that has to learn the English language because our language has no rules. Or if it has a rule, it will be broken.
Look, and like anybody that's trying to let me that's not how you pronounce it. I'm like, you guys take vine and yard and put it together, and it becomes this magical new word called vineyard. Get the fuck out of here with that, man. You try to do a Latin American word. What? We simplify things over there, man. Yes, we have a third. What is it? Sex, Amanda? What is that thing called? Vosotros, nosotros.
You mean the pronouns? You have pronouns for multiple people. Yes, we have because vosotros is because vosotros is like the formal you all.
The formal you. Can
like
someone explain to me how they got the URL? Like again, this is what I'm talking about. Batman's trying to solve this.
I don't know. I have to go back and look at some of those riddles because I think
like I said, I wanted it to be a smart move.
I think I saw an article that actually went through all the riddles, so I might look back at that just to read through it and figure out.
The movie you have to see on a big screen, preferably with soul. I would like to see it again, honestly. I would
definitely not in the theater we saw it in with the people we had to see it with. So yeah, I would say that's probably
see it with me. We didn't have a problem. Preaching, Omar. English is it's weird, but I love it, man. I wouldn't live anywhere else. I love this country. Seriously. I would not live anywhere else. As broken as the weird language is, and I complain about it, it's great, man. And iron is pronounced iron. Oh, don't even get me started on that. In Kentucky, we have a tendency to add letters to words. So you don't have a washer and dryer here in Kentucky. You have a washer and dryer. You got an R, and it gets all kinds of confusing. Ustedes, vosotros, right? Mm-hmm. I've read the book in the wedding with introducing everyone. Never needed to be 30 minutes in part one. Oh, you're Godfather. Godfather. I liked it.
Yeah.
Roberto Rodriguez, you need to give up your Latino card. Spanish has way too many. Get out of here with that bull crap. Omar loves beer. To quote my favorite superhero of all time, Wolverine. What's the news, Amanda? Talk to me.
Okay, so what has happened in the world?
Oh my gosh, we're an hour and 25 minutes in. That's it? For like 3 hours. All right, go ahead.
Well,
are you not drinking tonight?
No, I had some wine earlier, but I was not feeling it. I think the wine was dead. Not dead, but I think it was way past its prime. And I just didn't feel like having beer because I had those 2 beers last night, and yeah, I was not feeling it.
You're bouillon.
Well, I have Well, once you go to Booyaka and you burn like 500 calories in an hour, you're like, yeah, I got to keep it going. And I just don't feel like drinking a bunch of beer would have done that for me.
Okay, maybe I need to go watch some Booyaka. The movie's 3 hours long, and someone told me if I read the prequel novel, I enjoy it better. Thought he was crazy. All right. So, Amanda, what are the news? What are we talking about?
All right. So, what happened in the world of entertainment this week? Well, one big thing happened in terms of The Boys, and that is their star, Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander, was arrested in Spain for assaulting a chef. He apparently punched him inside of a pub. He must have been drunk, and he would have gotten 12 months in jail, but he paid the victim $4,000 in 72 hours, and they came into an agreement so he wouldn't face conviction. So taking that Homelander persona pretty seriously these days is Anthony Starr.
Wow, Anthony Starr.
Yes.
Steps out.
What other news? So getting away from DC for a minute, they just announced that all of the Marvel Netflix shows will be releasing on Disney Plus in the US. At first, they just announced Canada, which confused a lot of people, but now they will be getting a release
right above the US.
Yes, I know. So we'll be getting
I like that.
That's very
He was just a character, man. All right. What
yes.
Netflix. Like, wait. Even things like Alias are gonna be on Disney Plus?
They haven't mentioned Alias. So on Disney Plus starting
Not Alias, I'm sorry, Jessica Jones.
Yes. So starting March 16th, we will get every season of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, The Punisher, and Defenders. And then Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will also yeah, well that's gotta be in there. Once we get the whole thing.
The Colleen Wig show.
Yeah, we get the whole thing. That's what happens.
Oh man, that's rough.
And so Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will also be moving Disney Plus on this date as well.
My dude, Michael Collins is called St. Lucia.
It's a local beer in Kentucky. My favorite, absolute favorite beer in the whole world.
It's good. I don't know why Amanda's not drinking it. She's too good.
Because I can't go get it. It's only in Frankfurt.
I told you to come over.
Well, I was busy doing things today.
You went to Booyaka.
Okay, I did. I also did other
word to say. I love it. With parental controls, I'm shocked they're not going to Hulu. Right?
Well, I think that I think Disney's been having an interesting time with figuring out how to keep subscribers, particularly people of our age, like adults and things like that, because when you have just the kid content, family content, you start to miss out on subscribers they could potentially get, and they have to grow their streaming service, correct? And I think they're going to start playing with the idea of bringing in, they want a place where they could put all these, like they're all part of this universe, right? So you want them all in one place. So if you're a Marvel fan, you can go and watch all of these things in one place and not have to go to Hulu or go, back and forth. And so I think they're going to be testing it out with the parental controls to see how that works effectively. Honestly, I mean, Netflix
Deadpool
is able to do it. Deadpool, I think I don't think it's streaming anywhere on the Disney Plus. I think someone else has the streaming rights right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's streaming anywhere. Streaming rights to Deadpool right now. So once that happens, that'll be interesting because that's definitely radar. But so are all these.
Curtis is saying Deadpool is on Hulu currently.
Okay, so it's on Hulu. Okay.
We will have to see if these Marvel shows end up under Legends heading the Marvel universe. So are we getting Mickey Mouse saying the F word?
I don't know, but
what about S.H.I.E.L.D.? Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., will they eventually move over to Disney Plus?
It's the same day, yes, because they just also expired. Yeah. But funny thing about Mickey Mouse swearing, so they have these cute little new cartoons where I think they're trying to be edgier with Mickey Mouse and stuff. And my daughter watches them, and one of the cartoons, him and Minnie are ice skating, and he gets upset. And he says that someone hits him in the shins. And my daughter kept saying, "You have to watch this. It's so funny." And she laughed at that scene every time. I said, "What's so funny about it?" She's like, she's saying the bad word. She thinks he's saying S-I-I-T.
Bad word.
S-H-I-T. And I was like, no, it's shins.
First of all, why is your daughter
saying shins? Because she's in public school. Well, I don't know what else you want to know.
She's in public school. I love that answer. Okay, good.
No, she tells me stuff like she like admitted to me once that her friends will like she has friends that will shout bad words into the ground at recess. So I know that this is a thing. Okay.
Let me take this question really quick. Omar, any Comic Cons this year or meetups? Nice to see things getting back to normal. I think I have plans to go to New York Comic Con. I'd like to go to the Charlotte one. I think those are the two that I want to drive to or fly out to. Be really good to see some folks. Be really fun to get out and do things, especially New York. Maybe San Diego next year if they get everything right. But yeah, those are the two big ones this year. And then go see my buddy Jess in Baltimore. Outing bad, but that's my plans for now.
That's what they do. I don't know.
Star Wars trilogy was in a ball. I think it was 4, 5, and 6, or 1, 2, and 3.
I don't know which was which trilogy.
Because there's so many, man. Like episodes 4, 5, and 6. I don't give a crap what anybody says. 6 had the Ewoks, and it's always going to be Chup Chup. That's my song, baby. I don't care how many times they remaster that. Chup Chup.
Chup Chup.
Can't even sing the rest of the Ewok song. All right. What else is going on? Entertainment news.
Other news. Apparently, Kevin Feige is no longer focusing on individual stories in the MCU, but will only be focusing on the ever-expanding overall story of the MCU universe.
On Star Wars, I just said Chup Chup. What's my jam, man? My buddy Tevon. He didn't mean me.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, so the VXF production supervisor for Eternals had said that Kevin Feige has moved away from focusing on the individual stories and day-to-day operations like individual projects. So his focus is just mainly making sure the overall story of the MCU stays on track. But as far as maintaining control over what the individual projects are and where they go with the storylines, it looks like he's not taking a lead role in that. He's taking a back seat because he's gotten so darn busy. So that's
and he's also doing MCU. Star Wars, right? Like Star Wars movies, like
he's gonna apparently he's gonna be producing some of those. Yeah. Other news, apparently they thought it was a good idea to do a remake of White Men Can't Jump. If you all are familiar with that movie, Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes.
I love doing these with you because
the creator of Blackish, Barry Jenkins, is doing the remake.
The irony behind that movie is that Woody Harrelson is actually a better ball player than Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes sucks at playing basketball. Woody Harrelson was a better ball player. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, and they casted a rapper named Jack Harlow. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who that is. It's a white rapper. I don't know. He's going to be taking over the role that Woody Harrelson played. So yes, because they have not yet found anything they cannot remake. We thought maybe it'd be over, but it is never over. There's always something from the 90s now they can remake. That's what's fun. That's how old we've gotten, Omar. They were remaking everything.
Don't remind me how old I've gotten.
In the 80s or in the 2000s, they were making everything from the 80s, right? And now we're in the 2020s, and now everything from the 90s is getting remade.
No. Let me tell you, the only way I'll go see that, Amanda, is if Wesley Snipes plays the same character. Because that's how badass he is.
That would be
You bring back, what's her name that was in Birds of Prey? Rosie Perez is the same character.
No.
White Man Can't Jump?
I don't know.
What about, how have we not talked about Bel Air?
Oh, because I haven't watched it yet, which I want to. Because I really want to
happen?
Because it looks like it's really good. I started watching the first episode, but I haven't gotten into it. I'll tell you something that missed the boat completely was Peacock's Joe versus Carol. That is like 2 years too late. I'm not the only person
that wants Rosie Perez. Like, I love Rosie Perez. Here's the twist. Wesley Snipes is playing the same character again. Right? Wouldn't that be an awesome twist? He's like the same guy that just says, White Man Can't Jump.
That is such a good.
I remember taking a date to go see that movie. Yes, I'm that old. And she was like, I don't understand this movie. I was not paying attention to the movie at all.
Yeah, exactly. JT, it would be so funny if they did a Flubber remake.
That's a remake.
But there was. But what if they did another remake and Will Smith played the character just like he replaced Robin Williams?
Flubber movie was a remake.
Yeah, from like the 60s or something like that. Yeah, I know.
This is the phase of drunken Omar where he's arguing with nobody.
Yeah, which I know. Yes.
I apologize.
Yeah, did the Halo show come out? I thought it was later in March, but I don't know if it came
Dan's
out
saying
yet.
Halo comes out on
Later in March,
24th.
March 24th. Yeah.
I can't bring myself to watch Bella. I'm just calling it something else. Right? It's like 90210. I can't bring myself to watch 90210. Call it something else, please.
The new one?
Is there another new one?
I don't know. Anyways, so thinking of new stuff. So Will Smith is apparently going to be doing a sequel to I Am Legend, which I guess I never
die.
It did. He did, but apparently there's an alternate ending, which I don't have the DVD.
Yes. Also died in the alternate ending.
No, some people they said he lives in the alternate ending.
With the butterfly?
I think. I don't know. But anyways, he's in it. Michael B. Jordan's in it. We're getting a sequel to I Am Legend. I'm surprised we get a Hancock sequel, but
hold on. You want to see a remake of Different Strokes? This is for real.
I wish we could make a
my family, my Latino family adopted a white kid. My brother is white. And I always say that like when people were like, oh, one of my brothers is white, right? So it's like, yeah, we're like the opposite of the stereotypical white family that adopts a brown kid. We're the brown family that adopted a white kid. And that's exactly what the new Different Strokes would be like. No joke, Roberto Rodriguez. Maybe with a kid that says, what you talking about, Willis?
Yeah. Okay. So DBZ All-Star. Yes.
No, we don't need another disaster movie.
We already did. Roland Emmerich already did Moonfall. His disaster.
No, he's talking about another disaster movie. Like
okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. He only died in the theatrical cut. Got it. He didn't die in the director cut. But what average moviegoer watched it? Because I didn't know. Because I didn't see the director's cut.
I watched all of it. I thought he died
in both cuts.
I Am Legend is based on a book series, right? And it's also based on movies, or I'm sorry, comics.
Yeah.
So, interesting, but whatever.
Yeah, but Tavon, no, he is actually going to be starring it. It's not that he's just.
Hey man, no joke though. When he had to kill his dog in that movie, we went to you know why I went to see that movie in the IMAX? So I could see the opening of Batman Dark Knight. That's how they premiered it. They did the 6-minute intro in the IMAX. Mm-hmm. And when he killed his dog in that movie, I lost it, man. I was like, I can't watch it. Oh my God, that was
as long as no more dogs die, I will be okay. So watch that film.
It was like one of those Will Smith movies that I was like, oh, it's not Will Smith playing Will Smith. He doesn't ever say like, oh hell no. It was Will Smith actually like playing a different character, and it was.
That's how he is in King Richard, which is going to probably win him the Oscar this year. He was not playing.
He's okay in that.
I know. I still think Andrew Garfield was absolutely phenomenal. Heck. Benedict I still think Andrew Garfield was phenomenal, but it's fine.
Which one? Write the script. Which movie we talking about? Different Strokes where I adopt the white kid. All right. We'll do that. In the book, he lives, but not in the movie. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but in the director's cut, he does. I think I make that work.
Wait. Are we being serious about House Party? Because I love House Party. House Party was written by Reggie Hudlin, president of BET, writer of Black Panther comics. I loved House Party with Kid and Play. Hey. For real, though, Kid and Play better be in that show. All right, Amanda. Keep on.
All right, what else is happening? Okay. Our Alien franchise. Guess what? It's making a comeback. So,
I'm out. I'm down.
Fede Alvarez, who did the Evil Dead remake in 2013. Oh,
that was a good movie. That was a good movie.
He is going to be helming a new Alien movie. It's going straight to Hulu as part of the 20th Century Studios efforts to create 10 original movies for Hulu this year or per year. And in addition to FX is also developing an Alien TV show. So we're about to be getting a lot more Alien very soon coming to Hulu. Yeah, he's so upset about that.
Omar was so mad about Terrence Howard being replaced. Dude, Terrence Howard is my War Machine, okay? That's all I got to say about that. And anybody else that has something to say about that?
About aliens?
Nope.
Oh,
next time, baby.
Never gonna happen. Unless he shows up in Doctor Strange. As if he doesn't show up in Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness.
I hope he shows up in Doctor Strange and kills Don Cheadle and takes on the
What if he was Black Panther, like an old Black Panther? I don't know.
Okay, first of all, Terrence Howard's not that old, man.
Well, but he's older than.
I mean, Maine.
He's older than like.
He ain't older than Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle.
Not John. No, I'm just saying like he's older than Chadwick Boseman before he passed. Like, you know what I mean? So he would be an older version.
Oh man, I'm so glad I'm
just by what it is.
He's my War Machine, man. I love that movie, dude. All right, what else, Amanda?
All right, and last piece of news that I have.
All right.
We have more casting news for Kraven the Hunter, because I know you all were like, "Oh, there's a Kraven the Hunter movie that is still coming out." There is. It's supposed to come out next year in January 2023. Aaron Taylor Johnson was already confirmed to be starring as Kraven the Hunter, and they've also casted. Oh, yay!
What's up, man? Good night, brother. Good night. Go
yes,
ahead.
Good night. They also casted Ariana DeBose, who just won her SAG award for West Side Story. Russell Crowe is also going to be appearing in it, and now they just casted Alessandro Nivola from The Many Saints of Newark. No one has said what.
I like that movie. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that's a good question, but let me look it up.
I'm sorry, you didn't know.
Nope, you're fine. It's fine. I can look it up. They didn't put it in the. They didn't put it in there where I was, where I could look it up very easily. He played Dickie Molisanti.
Oh,
nope.
Okay, so
yeah, that is who he played.
For his dad, gotcha. All right.
Yes. So, person directing Kraven the Hunter is J.C. Chandor, and of course, Avi Arad is producing it along with Matt Tolmack, and Art Markham and Matt Holloway, Richard Wenk. They all pen the screenplay. So. Really interested to see how this turns out and where it's going to fit in with all of our Spider-Men that we have seen on screen so far.
Quicksilver and Kraven the Hunter are the same guy.
Yep, they are the same guy. Probably not in the same universe, though. The multiverse exists now, so we can do that.
He was Alan Grant's friend in Jurassic Park 3. The disrespect.
Oh, Alan Grant.
The young guy in that
movie?
I think you're right. I think it was. Oh, Calypso.
Was he really?
So is Spider-Man going to show? You know what?
Oh, that's right. I think she is playing Calypso in there. I don't know if he's going to show up or not. That's going to be a good question.
Interesting. Okay, so
I don't think he'll show up.
What's the likelihood of that movie actually being made?
I think now they have someone I think it has a very high possibility of getting made, given the cast already, that they have everyone going forward, and Sony is really bent on getting. Maybe it'll depend on how Morbius does when it comes out later this year.
Oh my god, I forgot about Morbius.
Yeah. Also, because we're talking about Jurassic Park 3, best.
How did you find that so quick?
Oh my god, I love that, Alan. That's my favorite thing in the whole world. So yeah, because
in the entire world is a talking stupid velociraptor.
When Alan Grant has that dream when they're on the.
Whoa, wait a minute now.
Stop! I already. No, you do not.
It's HD though. Hey, let me give you a word of advice, Naked HD. Nobody needs to be seen in HD when they're naked. Straight up, okay? It's okay with the blurriness. All right, Amanda. Thank you for timing them out. In 2035, the MCU will consist of all the characters being from different multiverses, all played by. Oh, there's only one man that can do it. There's only one man that can do all the characters played by the same actor. You know who it is. Next time, baby.
I really thought you were going somewhere else with that one, but that is not who I thought.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
What about this guy? I think he could do it.
Can't freaking stop, can you? Someone take away Omar's control. What are you?
What about this guy?
Oh, stop it, dude.
Nope. This guy will do it. He'll take over. He'll do all the roles.
What are you doing? Anything else? Entertainment news. Hey, what's up, Derek?
That's all I have, unless anyone in the chat has anything they've been dying to talk about.
As
far as movies and TV.
We can talk about Selma Hayek all day.
Anything? What's everyone been watching so far? I have just finished the after party on Apple TV Plus. Highly recommend. Very funny whodunit show. If anyone hasn't seen it.
After party.
Yeah, it's starring Tiffany Haddish. The guy who
I like her.
Ben Schwartz, who played what's the Ralphio in Parks and Rec.
Rufio.
No, not Rufio. And then Sam, I forget his last name, but he was in Veep. Yeah, there's quite a lot of people in it.
Dreyfus?
No, she's not in it. No.
After Party's excellent, really. I haven't seen After Party.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a show?
It's a show. It's a limited series. There's 8 episodes, I believe.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, it's a good show. I recommend it to everyone. And I also
I heard the voice cartoon is out.
It is. It just came out, I think, this week.
Leo, Ozark is dark, man. I really like it though. It's good.
Yeah, we finished
last season. Like the ending, I was like, well.
Did you watch at season 4 part 1?
Yeah, the ending of season 4 part 1 was rough, man. I was like, I didn't like those characters to begin with, but I didn't think they were gonna get off that easy. And off, I mean, like, not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a show, limited series. Hey, what's the Arcane? Or no, what was the movie? The movie you told me to watch?
Movie?
Yeah, it was
Arcane.
No,
the TV show.
No. It was about the deaf girl.
Oh, Coda. Oh,
Coda.
I just got to, yes.
What's it on?
Apple TV Plus. Apple TV Plus.
I'll watch that tonight.
It's actually a very good film.
Winning Time starts tomorrow. I'm trying to think of what I watch. Have you seen the morning show yet? The morning show is so good, Amanda. You would really like it.
I know. I tried watching the first episode of the first season. I couldn't get into it, so maybe I'll have to watch it again.
It's rough.
But see, Last Kingdom season 5 comes out.
It was really good. Steve Carell getting accused of sexual harassment and getting canceled, while his best friend is on screen. And Jennifer Aniston, man, it's good. I want to start watching. What's that show on HBO? I watched the one with Amy Schumer's friend. I cannot remember her name. Is Naked HD back? How is this guy keep coming back?
Wow. You put it because you're putting them on. You gotta block the user.
Izzy is clicking on the link.
Immortal Izzy.
Immortal Izzy's. Wait a minute. What does that one say? That one says something about jerk off. Okay. He's gone.
No. Yeah. I just blocked the user. You're too drunk. You're gonna get us in trouble if you've heard that guy and put him on screen. Let's see.
I was reading what he was having to offer. He or she.
What did you want to watch on HBO?
Oh,
I do want to watch
Succession.
Oh my gosh!
You seen that?
Holy, that's all I've binged it on my maternity leave. I absolutely love Succession.
Everything on your maternity leave, though.
Except for the morning show.
Which you need to watch.
I know. No, Succession, fantastic. The ensemble won Best Drama Ensemble at the SAG Awards.
Really?
Totally deserved it.
Okay.
Kieran Culkin, fantastic.
Macaulay Culkin's little brother.
Yeah, he's so fantastic in it. Oh, I had a crush on him back in the day. With the guy, the saint.
Wait a minute, you're not.
Secret Lives of Altar Boys. The Secret Lives of Altar Boys. I love that film.
Altar Boy. What? Man, watch that. All right, real quick.
I don't know. You should.
You know you made it when the adult site starts.
Right. That's so cute.
Hey, we didn't lose any viewers to the adult site, did we?
I hope. Yeah, y'all. It was not. Yeah. Omar.
What's Minx on HBO? I haven't heard that one. Was that any good?
I've not watched Minx. I don't know what that is yet.
Succession is excellent. I'll be rewatching my favorite zombie movie, Train to Busan. Dude, that is such a good movie. I remember texting my brother to watch it, and he was like, "Oh my god, it was so good! It was excellent."
Yes.
Succession
Kingdom
is so good.
Yes, and Kingdom is a good zombie film, but so is All of Us Are Dead, which is a TV series.
Have you seen that? I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, we were watching it. It's really good. I would highly recommend watching All of Us Are Dead too. But yes, Succession, fantastic.
Must watch.
That's one I started watching, but I haven't finished it. But I have to get into it. And I
heard
love
Vox Machina is good.
That ending. Oh wow!
Now I need an HD. No, maybe in the after hours show, man. Omar, how about talking about Rorschach and his up? Is Rorschach getting an omnibus?
Wow, I didn't know he warranted that. Buddy.
Also watch #Alive. Have you seen One Cut of the Dead? Has anybody seen that? Like I told Maddie to go watch it, and she texted me going, "Thank you so much for suggesting that." That is one of my favorite movies I watched last year, and then I rewatched it with my whole family because I think it's one of those horror movies that works as a family. It's so good if you haven't seen it, and the least I say about it, the better. But it's definitely POV at first. if you've not watched One Cut of the Dead, it is the most brilliant like horror movie I've seen in a long time, outside of like Behind the Mask. I love that movie. I own One Cut of the Dead on
He said
Blu-ray
horror
from the
movie.
UK. Since it took so many more months to come to the US, I haven't seen. I've seen it. It's so, dude, it blew me away. I loved it. Like, and the least you tell people about it, like when Maddie was asking me about it, I was like, just watch it. Seriously, you will love it. It's just so good. It's one of the best movies I've seen. One Cut of the Dead is so good. The less you know, the better, right? The less you know, the better. My wife was so mad watching it, and then when she got it, she was like, "Oh my God, this is brilliant! It's so good." Show it to your loved ones, man. It's a really good movie. You've got the first 30 minutes of One Cut of the Dead. Exactly, that's the key. Once you pass that 30-minute mark, you see the beauty and the freaking like brilliance behind it. How are you back?
Why do you keep putting it on?
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not doing anything. You have to keep blocking the user. Oh my goodness.
I don't block anybody on this channel. All right, here we go. I'm blocking.
Well, you have to block that. There are certain things we block, guys, and that's
yeah, we don't promote. Wait.
Yes, James. Sebastian Stan does have a new movie out.
Why do you keep coming back? I think Amanda keeps making them come back.
And I keep blocking them. And it's really sad because he did an interview recently and someone asked him if him and Anthony Mackie still talk. And apparently Anthony Mackie hasn't texted him back in months and he's really sad about it. So that's kind of that's all I can say about The Fresh because I haven't watched it. But poor
I'm clicking on links I shouldn't be clicking on.
I wish I could.
It's the best movie. Which one, Peppa Pig? The HD, Naked HD, XYZ, or One Cut of the Dead? Speaking of blocking, Blockers with John Cena is. I heard. No.
Yes, it's a good movie.
Is it really though?
It's funny. It's funny. I didn't think I would enjoy it. It's one of those comedies that's definitely within its time. And if you are within that time, you will appreciate it.
Hey, JT, I love you though. I love
which
you.
Are many of those comedies from the mid 2000s and early 2000s. They are of their time.
Dude, Amanda, it came out like 45
Well, shoot.
minutes.
I'd almost say when he had to play the boyfriend for Amy Schumer in Trainwreck. I think that was.
Oh, you're talking. I'm sorry. You're talking about Batman. That's what you're talking about. I'm sorry. DC better than Marvel. This is Peppa Pig. She's got her own series of books. So you
and cartoon on PBS.
For those who didn't know, man, I always got to one up my knowledge. I love that about her, though. Respect. Amanda, I've seen the trailer of Fresh, and it looks insane.
I have to watch the trailer. I'll have to watch it when it's out because I really enjoy his portrayal of Tommy Lee in Pam and Tommy. I think it's
you talking about the guy that played Winter Soldier?
Yeah, I think it is a pretty good job
of
playing the Motley the Motley Crue lead singer. He's does a pretty good job. But I am happy that Pam Anderson, the real one, is going to come out with her own documentary telling her side of the story because we all know the Hulu show was not sanctioned by her or Tommy Lee.
I didn't know that.
None of them blessed it off. It's all based off of documentaries, news articles, things that they brought in the past, and they use that to write the script pretty much. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Trainwreck, yeah. He kept
the online strips referring to comic books.
No, I think not. That dude.
So what's Fresh? God. I don't know what Fresh is. Is that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
It's a TV movie on Hulu. I would have to look it up. I haven't seen it. All I know is that Yes, that is a great series.
There's a new doc series on HBO Max.
Yep.
Called Gaming Wall Street about GameStop and AMC stock last year. But you probably have to be drunk to remember about it. Okay, I love documentaries. You don't understand. I've seen every
docu-series.
Document. I'm not a big
docu-series. So like the first episode is about so each episode's like there's 2 out right now.
Thank you. That's what like my entire review of What If is like. Just because you're a good actor does not mean you're a good voice. He was horrible as the Winter Soldier, which he played in the freaking movies. Like, he was so bad. It was so boring. You know what? I was like, they casted somebody good as Iron Man, as Robert Downey Jr. They should have casted somebody as Winter Soldier.
But
like
I
a
think they
voice actor.
casted like an actual voice actor for Robert Downey Jr.
And
Like for
there's
that
nothing
Iron
wrong
Man.
with that because there's a big difference between voice acting and acting.
I agree.
Absolutely. 100%.
I mean,
Omar's
yeah.
not drunk. You're drunk. Exactly.
No,
Ted. I've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
My friend was angry because I said Peppa Pig was better.
Man, my 6-year-old loves Peppa Pig, and she wouldn't even agree with that.
Omar, any interviews in the near future? Chris Claremont, dude, I will get Chris Claremont back on here. Rachel Pollock. Pollock is. I would love to interview.
Michael, it may not be a good time to ask this question because Omar seems to be stumbling over his words.
Rachel Pollock, man, she's gonna come on
there
the show.
There you go.
Mark Silvestri.
He's coming on the show too.
The Todd father back. I have his phone number. I'm gonna call him. Where's my freaking phone? I'm gonna call him right now.
We got like 4 minutes. We got 4 minutes. Right, we gotta go.
We gotta go, guys. Everybody.
Well, no, I think we got 4 minutes.
Oh,
like, we don't got time to call someone.
Peter Dinklage was horrible in that Halo game, man. No,
yeah, he was Destiny. It looks like Halo, but it was Destiny.
I don't know if you know that, Amanda, but like
I've watched Corey. I watched Corey play it. I know it.
Destiny voice was so bad. Fresh is about a girl who meets a guy from a grocery store and started dating. But the guy has a dark secret that the girl finds out. Okay.
Does he have bodies in a freezer? I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Why do you always got to go there with guys?
Oh, I was because it's the grocery store. So, and Fresh, I was playing on the, never mind. So there we go. Keeping them fresh.
You're a good Batman, man.
I can make my own riddles for the Riddler. So
Omar,
there we go.
You posted new announcements on Patrons. It's just one of the benefits of being, dude. I did. Yeah, people on Patreon know the new omnibus is coming out. What you think about it, Chris? Isn't it going to be good, man? They had to recast him, really. Who did they have to recast him, man? I'm trying to.
I don't know where that was at. I don't know. We're talking about.
I replied to this like, oh, really? And you were like, huh. So I thought one of us, between the both of us, would have knew.
Oh, is he talking about Destiny, like recasting Peter Dinklage? Is that what he's talking about, maybe? Or the GOT Telltale game? Maybe one of those things.
This has
Griffin X, let us know if that's what you're talking about.
A right good time. Thanks, Omar and Amanda and everyone. Oh, thank you, man.
There we go. He did say Peter Dinklage.
I don't know why
he did say Peter Dinklage in Destiny.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Amanda doesn't have an excuse. I've been drinking.
I didn't do anything wrong.
I didn't say you did. Quit trying to yourself.
You're like, I don't have an excuse. I have an excuse for keeping you in line and keeping that bot from tearing down our whole chat.
Yo, man, don't lie. You're going to check out that link. You're going to check out that
I don't even know how you could check out the link. There's like nowhere to, I don't even know like where you do. I don't understand that.
Well, I'm on already looking at Booyaka.
All right, Chris, yes, we will watch Morbius because, and I love how the most recent trailer, they're showing more of Michael Keaton, which leads me to believe either they filmed more or that is really just all we're going to get of Michael Keaton, but they want us to think there's more Michael Keaton so everyone goes and sees the movie. I don't know. Either way, we'll see. I'm going to watch it because it's a Spider-Man villain and there might be a connection and maybe I'll get a cameo from one of my guys.
Who's your guys?
The Spider-Man.
Man, this has been a lot of fun. I have been unpacking and putting beds together. I'm gonna use my pig stick. Peppa Pig keeps cracking me up, man. I don't even know what this Peppa Pig fight crime with pig stick. Is this a thing?
I don't think so.
Look at Leo making a strong statement. I will not watch Morbius in theaters. Done. Amanda, how many celebrity crushes freebies? What is that? What is a freebie? DBC All-Star? Like a foot
on
massage?
What list? Oh, if you're talking about me and my husband, it's only Justin Timberlake. That's the only like pass. And then his ass
like a foot massage?
And his is like Jessica Biel, and they're married. So actually we could just, make it easy.
Go over and bring over your potato salad.
Yeah.
Trade recipes. Jessica Biel's like, I put marshmallows in my potato salad. What do you put in your
Exactly right.
big
Exactly right.
Collins?
No one puts marshmallows in potato salad. That's gross.
White people are crazy. There I go getting canceled.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. Amanda, help me out here, please.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, we're going to call it a night so Omar can sleep it off. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at @NearMintCon. Remember to check us out on Spreadshop if you want some near mint condition gear, or check us out on Patreon if you want to support us for $1 a month or more. You too can help Omar unpack all of his boxes for his house. And last but not least, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. Have a good night, everyone, and good journey. And we will see you all next week with us. I still have to figure out what the show will be next week, but I'll let you know. I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out.
Vengeance. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night, guys.